What's up, Talk Nation? My name is Chanel, and you are now listening to the Chanel Talks podcast. And if you are new to my podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm back. I'm still here. I know I've been missing for a while, and yeah, let's get it right into it. It's holiday time, and around the holiday times, it's about to be a lot of single people and a lot of people, um, crying because their significant other, is letting them down for the holidays. And, you know, y'all go through this every single time and it sucks because it's just like, why do you guys gotta be acting up? Why is your significant other, acting up around holidays, around Christmas, and you trying to do everything you want to do for your kids, and he's not, you know, acting right. It's like these men, they be acting up around holidays. I don't know why, but they just keep on doing it. And my conclusion is they broke. You know what I'm saying? They broke. And all I gotta say is if your significant other is acting up every holiday, you need to keep that same energy when it comes tax season. Nope, nope. You need to keep that same, how you was just crying right now, or like how you feel like your man is acting up right now during holiday season because it's holidays. You need to keep that same energy during tax time. Nope, don't give that nigga nothing. Nope. Don't give him shit. Don't give them shit on God. Don't give them nothing. Cause why are y'all going through this every single year and it's almost 2026? But you know what? I'm actually proud of most women cause y'all been standing y'all ground. Like most women have not been giving these god dudes the time or the day, you know? Some of these women have really been fed up. You know what I'm saying? When you get my age and you in your 30s, you just level up, you know? When you're young and stuff, it's like, yeah, you be trusting your significant other. They be treating you good, but then soon as holiday season come, they acting up, and then around after Valentine's Day, they want to come back around because they know that you about to get that tax money. And it's like, don't be sitting up here crying. You know what I'm saying? Don't be sitting up here crying talking about, oh my God, he left me for the holidays, this, and that. And then you crying and all this. You need to, and then he coming back apologizing to you during tax season. Why are you taking him back? Why? Why are you even considering giving him some money when he couldn't even help you out Christmas, Valentine's Day, New Year's, If you ain't sticking around for New Year's and you ain't sticking around for holidays and Christmas, why should you be sticking around during tax season? You need to take that nigga back in June when that money ran out. When that money ran out, take him back in June. I'm sorry. Let they ass dwell in how they treated you during holiday season because that's not right. Some of y'all is just too gullible and letting these men back. And I understand, ladies, a lot of y'all don't want to be alone, but sometimes you got to be. You know what I'm saying? Because they not acting right. You know, and I didn't heard men. Me and these guys, we were having a conversation, and you know, I was fighting with a guy, and he was basically telling me like, "Oh, you always talking about how niggas ain't shit, this, that, and the third." And you have a son, and your son is always hearing you say that, right? But my whole thing is, I'm not referring to my son because the way I'm raising my son, he ain't gonna be doing the same thing that guys have done to me. You know, I think my son is going to be way smarter than that. You know, I'm teaching my son how to be a real man. So if I'm basically saying niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, it's because obviously they doing stuff that I just don't approve of or stuff that I just wouldn't do. Period. And the number one thing is a lot of you men be hiding your phone. Like me personally, I'm a very observant person. Okay. I observe everything. I hate that I have the gift to observe situations because, I'm loud, I'm outgoing, and, I'm obnoxious sometimes. I'm just going to admit it, like all my flaws. I'm obnoxious sometimes, but a lot of things about me is my whole downfall is I don't really say anything. When I'm dating somebody, I don't really say anything, and that is, you know, that's, you know, bad on my part. It's really horrible on my part. Cause it's like, I don't really say nothing when guys are like cheating on me, hiding their phones and stuff like that. Because it's like, what are you hiding? If you're in a relationship, why are you hiding your phone? Why are you snatching your phone up trying to hide it? You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. When I'm dating somebody, I'm going to date them. If I'm going to be doing stuff, you know, like as far as like cheating and stuff, I would just be single. Like I would just be single, and then me personally don't, I do have men that come up to me that are very well dressed, that are very nice looking, and they come up to me and they be like, "Hey, let me get your number, blah blah blah." And I tell them with no hesitation, I'm in a relationship. You know, each and every person that I have ever dated, I have always been like faithful. And I think a lot of us are. And it's not just women too, it's men too. Some of us are very faithful when we get into relationships, because I'm not going to say, oh, all women. No, there's men out there too that when they get into relationships, they just want to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be out here cheating and doing whatever the case may be. And so, they're not, I'm not going to say every man because it's a lie. I didn't have some really good men who treated me right and it just didn't work out in the end. But I never been the person that would like hide my phone, have secrets, talking to men, this and that and the third. Like, when I break up with somebody, I get over them. I don't go back to a man right away. I wait until I'm like healed, and so I just won't bring it into the next relationship. Like all my feelings that I was feeling, like I don't bring it into my next relationship. Like some I do because it's like trauma. We all have different trauma, and therapy can only do so much. It's just like some stuff is a trigger. Like some stuff that a person do while you're in a relationship, it triggers you, and then they're like, well, why are you acting like this? And why you acting like that? And they not realizing it's the trauma from dealing with different people in relationships. You know what I'm saying? And it's trauma. And like, some people will bring up that trauma. Hiding your phone, that's trauma. Okay? You don't know what the last person have did to that person, and a lot of these people that's in a relationship, that's getting with in relationships, they don't understand the boundaries and limits. You can talk to them till you blue in the face and tell them everything that you've been through. And it's like they're listening and they're talking to you at the same time. But then they go behind your back, or right in front of your face, and they do the same thing after you done told them like over and over. After you guys have had them conversations, you'll tell them everything about you, what traumatized you in the last relationship, and then they will repeat those same traumas in different ways. And it's like, okay, you knew that I was traumatized by this certain situation. Why would you go and do this same situation? And then the other person that's doing the trauma, they don't feel like they're doing the trauma, but they are. You know what I'm saying? They are. So if you're wondering why your significant other is acting the way they act, is maybe because you're bringing up certain traumas for them, and you may not have been doing it in that same way as the last person, but it's still trauma because you're doing it. It doesn't matter like how you're doing it. They just remember that trauma that was there. You know what I'm saying? That that you repeated that in a way that they remember. It's all trauma, and like some of some of us that are in relationships really need to have boundaries and limits. And then some people, when you in a relationship, excuse me, I'm a little sick. When you in those relationships, you need to respect your significant other trauma. This is because some of y'all like y'all know what's going on with y'all partners, and it's like y'all don't care. And then when the other person have the attitude or talk to you about it, you don't want to talk or you don't want to hear it. But it's like you repeating the same things, you know, and talking it out with your partner and having that having that bond and having that and building trust, it goes a long way. Also, I would like to say Chanel Talks Booking is, accepting interviews, accepting donations. If you would like to be a part of my podcast, I've been asking you guys for a very long time. If you want to be a part of my podcast, please go to chaneltalkbooking@gmail.com. You can email me, or you can hit me up on Instagram and Facebook, and, on Chanel Talks Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and you can become a part of the Talk Nation family, you know? And for all my supporters, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting Chanel Talks Podcast. I greatly and really appreciate you. I have some link in my bio. Please go and check that out. We also have Chanel Talks merch. Please, buy something, support Chanel Talks. But back to what I was saying is, a lot of us in relationships, you get with your significant other, and when they're at a really grown age, you made mistakes in the past, and like some of y'all repeat those mistakes. And it's like, why? Why are you repeating the same thing over and over? And then some of you guys are like, I'm gonna be smarter about it. I'm gonna get with this person, and you're using them. And it's like, you shouldn't even be getting in relationships to use somebody. You should be getting in relationships to find love, because some people really want to be married. Some people really want to, take the relationship to a next level. Some people will pray for you, and you completely will mess that up. And then God will cease everything, and He will literally, you will be literally messing up your life. And some of us, we don't really think about that. When a person keeps praying for you, You don't know what a person is doing behind your back, right? A person could be praying over your household, praying over you each and every day, praying for you every time you walk out that door, and God sees everything. Nothing is going unnoticed, you know? So I'm just saying, be kind these holidays. Stop doing your significant other wrong every single time a holiday come up. You know? Cause when you have a good foundation and you being there for your significant other in this holiday season, you would get blessed 10 times more than going out trying to be in a new relationship so you don't have to contribute to anything. If you broke, just say you broke. If you spent all your money and you know you ain't got no money, just say that. Why do you have to go out and cheat and spend your money on somebody else because you think your significant other is not going to appreciate it? A little 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $100, $200 goes a long way for your significant other for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Just buying things little by little. It don't even have to be expensive. And then a lot of you guys that are in relationships and y'all have maybe a woman or y'all like the man and masculine in the relationship, y'all get overwhelmed too much of thinking that a person needs hundreds and thousands of dollars for Christmas when it ain't even gotta be all that. It's not even all of that. You know, it's whatever you may have, cause you don't know. And then some of y'all don't even talk to y'all significant others and seeing what they have. And then some of y'all need to stand on business. And the same person who doing you wrong for the holidays, you need to keep that same energy for tax season. You know? And whatever you didn't get your kids for the holidays, you need to get your kids tax season. Cause let me tell you something. I don't really believe in going all out for Christmas. I really don't. They jack up the prices. You know what I'm saying? Some prices still the same. They don't really have a Black Friday sale no more. But when it's tax time, everything's on sale. Everything's on sale. You could get everything worth your money after the holidays are done. Like come March, April, them prices is gonna go so down. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I got this, that, this and the third that you couldn't even afford for Christmas. So I wouldn't be going all out for Christmas. I'd be getting the kids like, a few little things, but I wouldn't be trying to go all out for Christmas, you know, unless you just really got it like that. But if you know you're not the type of person that got it like that and you know you on a budget and you know that you like behind on some bills, you know, kids just want like some of y'all have so much expectation for these kids and these kids just want to wake up happy. You know, they just want to wake up to a good meal, a couple of gifts on the tree under the tree, like as long as they get in like some, shoes, clothes or whatever. Cause you can't never go wrong with clothes, right? Cause kids love clothes. They love, you know, going back to school with some nice clothes on and a nice pair of shoes. But some of you guys literally need to look into those budgets. Like stay in your budget lane, you know. And then some of y'all do be pressuring your significant other to do so much for you and they don't know how to do it, because, they just think so highly of you and thinking that you want so much that y'all end up fighting, and then they don't even know how to, you know, do your expectations of what you want. They don't know how to do it. So then y'all end up arguing. He end up, the person end up cheating on you, going to find somebody else that can appreciate them, when the whole time the little money that they had would have been, satisfying you. That's why I'm just like, whatever I could do it. Whatever I can't. And I'm going to throw myself a little gift under the tree, something that I want. And I'm going to make myself happy so nobody else can make me happy. Because happiness starts with you, right? Happiness starts within ourselves. So don't be afraid. And everybody, and I had women telling me, oh, why you gonna buy yourself something for Christmas? That's bogus. He can't buy you nothing for Christmas. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all expecting the another person to please y'all, it ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never gonna happen. I'm sorry. Men have tried to please me, and it's not what I want. No offense. Shout out to all the men who tried to please me, but they have tried to please me, and I was very grateful. I don't want to sit up here and act like I was ungrateful, because I was really happy when a significant other do something for me very nice, and they try to make my day. That makes me so damn happy. Like, if they try to put a few dollars in my hand, or like try to buy me something they think I like, I appreciate that so much. Like, that makes me so happy. Like, and if you think it didn't make me happy, I'm gonna tell you it did. I'm very grateful for that. But nobody will ever satisfy me the way I can satisfy myself. And that goes for each and every person. So if you're a person who be like, I never was satisfied on Christmas, this person never did this shit for me, sometimes you gotta go out and do something nice for yourself and put it under the tree, so then that way you can feel good about yourself. You know, because nobody can make you happy if you're not already happy. I be trying to tell people that all the time. Nobody can satisfy you like the way you're going to satisfy you. Nobody's going to appreciate you until you start learning how to appreciate yourself. And it's not a bad thing to go out and buy yourself that expensive thing that you want for yourself, and you got the money to do it. Do it. You know? Don't be afraid to spend that extra little money to buy something nice for yourself. You're like, you know what? I really want this. I don't know if the person can afford this. I don't know if the person can help me get this, but I'm going to just go ahead and get it for myself. Especially if you've been with that person for a very long time, you know how they are. You know if they can afford it or if they can't afford it. You know that. You know, if y'all been together for a while and that person have never really pleased you on Christmas Day or a holiday or a birthday, like please you enough to, for you to be satisfied, sometimes you gotta go out and treat yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely no wrong with that, because last year, I ain't gonna lie. Last year, I bought myself like 5 different coats on Christmas, and I was happy as hell. And when I was going out, I was looking good and I was happy as hell. Because I did that for myself. I bought myself like 5 different coats, 3 different sweaters. I bought myself some pair of pants, some shoes. I was happy as hell on Christmas. I was like, this is my best Christmas ever. I woke up and forgot what I bought myself. Sometimes you have to treat yourself, and there is nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people would say, Oh, that nigga couldn't do nothing for you. Da, 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 da. Your nigga ain't doing shit for you. You sitting up here acting like this nigga doing everything for you. And he probably is. He's probably buying you everything you want. But guess what? You still gotta tell him. You still gotta tell him what you want. And then if he don't get it, then you're disappointed. So you might as well just not even be disappointed and just go out and do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. Cause some of y'all significant others can afford it, but a lot of y'all niggas cannot afford it. And then y'all crying and calling the next person, telling them, "Oh, this nigga didn't do this shit for me, didn't do that for me, and y'all going on and on and on." When you could just go out and do it for yourself because you know that person can't do it. It's like sometimes you gotta pick and choose your battles. And if it's a good person, don't lose them over something so petty for one little holiday. You know, sometimes you have to pick and choose your battles. See what works for you, because everything that's working for somebody else ain't working for you. You don't know what people are going through behind closed doors, and you know a lot of people lie. A lot of people lie. They make it seem like they're not lying, but they are. A lot of people lie. So just do what makes you happy this holiday. Don't cry. You know, just do what works for you. Buy yourself a gift. You know, something nice. Buy yourself a couple of gifts that you're gonna be satisfied with and move on, you know? And when the person have it, they have it, you know, and if they can't afford it, don't beat them up. Talk about, oh, you can't do this, you ain't shit, da da. Don't do that. And have a good holiday, guys. It's about tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I just want to say happy Thanksgiving and enjoy you guys' day. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Chanel Talks podcast. Bye.